I meet lots of interesting people who I want to help, and the best way for me to give back is to quickly share who they're helping professionally and who they wish they could privately or philanthropically help more. And I help you by keeping the interview short and sweet. People in my circle can pick and choose who to directly and indirectly help with their business or charitable contributions. Who are you helping? Don't forget to subscribe or follow me on YouTube and TikTok so they start paying me to do more content like this. Let's get started. Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is for Who Are You Helping? I have a head cold, so if I seem like my head is spinning, that is why. But I'm joined today with Ryan Sullivan. How you doing today, Ryan?
And thanks so much for having me, man. I think we connected on the old great LinkedIn interwebs, the business now social media esque platform. But great to connect with you. Great to see you on a podcast. And this is how I like to do the first intros: is let's just rock and roll on the pod, man. So this is where I live.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, the Who Are You Helping episodes, just so you know, if you know me from YouTube or whatever, you probably know me from my Chance Encounters, which is where I interview commercial real estate investors, syndicators, buyers, sellers, all that kind of stuff. So, if you are in commercial real estate, it's super duper important that we take that 15 minutes, do the interview. We've done it a few hundred times. So, there's no way for you to make it awkward until you go like full Kanye West on us. But
That's for
anyway,
later in the interview.
yeah, exactly. So what we're doing here is sometimes there's people in my circle, and I want to know more about what they do, or I want to give a chance for syndicators like you, presumably, to check this all out. But before we get into the main questions, Ryan, do you want to give the audience a little introduction?
Yeah, sure. So Ryan Sullivan, I'm a rapper, producer, DJ, podcaster, business owner. I consider myself self-employed. I don't really like the term entrepreneur. I'm 24. I used to sell weed. Now I help people like make podcasts. So entrepreneur, hopefully in the future, it's more of an aspiration, but definitely self-employed. And so I help people launch podcasts who would rather spend their money than their time. So if you're the type of person who is going to sit on YouTube for 20 to 40 hours and like kind of like learn it one guru at a time, that's not what my solution is. Mine's the opposite. Mine's 5 hours hardcore in there, one-on-one with a coach, in and out, and now we're launching your podcast. So that's kind of the gist.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. And maybe if they become your client and do really well, maybe they can buy more weed.
There you go. I mean, it's legal where I'm at now, so I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
enjoy that.
here too. But first question that I always ask my guests are who or do you help professionally? And the background for that is because I have a background in marketing on top of the CRM work, the e-commerce CRM work that I've done. What was really going on? I got to find out, like what is this person doing professionally in marketing? They call it messaging, and we just had to find out like what is this thing of value that people are paying money for. So Ryan, who do you help professionally?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I could get a little bit more specific than my last explanation.
Hmm.
And you mentioned touching on the clients, which I think is a great place to start with this. So mostly military and real estate professionals, so people who are full time or exited the military, and people who are full time real estate or do something in real estate. I didn't try to do that. That's just my client spread right now. I couldn't. I did. It was not my work. It was basically like going out on LinkedIn. People approached me. People ended up vibing with me, and that group of people seems to be a lot of real estate and military service people. On top of that, we do have people who are more operational or more like entrepreneurs within businesses, and that's why the solopreneur slash entrepreneur overlap works with our system. Because if you're within a business and somebody else is funding it, or whether you're funding it yourself, our system still works. So that's just a little bit more specific on kind of who we serve. And I know you have a real estate show as well, and that's what you do. So I feel like since I've consumed so much real estate content that I do what you guys do, but I don't at all. I never have. My grandfather figured it out in his last 10 years of his life. So, I was trying to learn from him. I'll go into real estate eventually, but I don't know, it's some kind of sign.
Well,
But
who
that's
knows?
kind
Maybe
of the
you'll be a
spread.
financier, right? So you're
There
the
you go.
money and paper guy, and then you don't actually have to do any of the actual operations or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Good stuff. So the second question then is, who do you wish you could help more? And the background for that question, it comes from the fact that I don't know if you know this about me. I'm from the internet. Okay. So everywhere I go though, like physically in person, not my fully digital AI avatar myself. That's different. It's in cyberspace all the time. But the real human, skin version of me, everywhere I go, there's always a movement to shop local, to support your local economy, support your local businesses, and that's fantastic. But when you're on the internet, that doesn't leave a whole lot of space for you. So what occurred to me is, if you know somebody's secondary motivation or secondary beneficiaries of their work, then you have a better idea that you're making the best decision with the professional dollars that you end up putting out into the system. So, Ryan, who's out there that you wish you could help more? It can be professionally, it can be privately. Some people, they don't get enough time with their kids and things like that. And then some people, they're overachievers and they have like orphanages all over the world and stuff. But who do you wish you could help more? And yeah, you can choose from anything.
Yeah, so I think first I'll speak more personally. I have my own podcast. It's called Bobcast. It's an in-person interview show, mostly based in New Jersey. It just kind of happened that way. And really, where my what my content's focused on now is providing content for people who are in my situation or were or are going to be. I'm 24. I didn't go into the corporate world. I was in it while I was in college, so I had a corporate job while I was in college. So I got a little cheat code. I got to kind of see it on the other side and then skip it. So right now I'm really focusing my own content on helping people who maybe they're 18 and like they're in college, but they're like, I don't really know if this is right for me. Like, I feel like I should start a business, but I don't really know what to do. Right. So a lot of these kind of really asking these clarifying questions and helping people decide. Right. Because I think that's a big issue is there's kind of unlimited opportunity now with the
Mm-hmm.
internet. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you mentioned it, like we almost as well we might have an AI version of ourselves. We also have the social media version. We have the in-person version. So things can get really complicated really fast, and it makes it difficult for people to make decisions. So that's really what I'm focused on personally. And then also bringing on guests, which I've done like over 100 episodes on the podcast and learning from them. And then professionally, I want to help more podcasters. It's tough because I'll be on a call with them and they really struggle to give me $150, and I don't need the $150. Like, I'm good whether you do it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to get in the habit of start investing in their podcast, in their success, because they're in their own box, but they don't realize that the way out is, it's not that it's paying me is the way out. It's just paying somebody, doing something, taking a wildly different action, whatever it is, right? So I want to help. My mission really, and my goal this year is to do 52 podcasts in 52 weeks, and just to kind of keep spreading these messages, because peripherally people, a few people here, a few people there, it all kind of adds up. But I just want people to know first that, like, hey, making decisions is your superpower. And then second, that also ties into who I'm trying to help, which is podcasters. But I'm also serving people who do have money to invest in their podcasts. And so that's why I try to release free content to help people who maybe can't pay us. But
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what I think about.
I love that. And this is normally like an 8 minute format, and I'm going to get in the weeds here when it comes to commercial real estate. One of the biggest things that hit me about these players who were picking up these apartment complexes, these big buildings, and all that kind of stuff, it's a little thought experiment, which is like, if you had those kinds of resources where you could own pretty much anything you wanted, what would you still actually want to own? And the answer is stuff that cash flows, right?
Yep.
It's stuff that pays you for owning it. And so when you think about an investment, though, like one problem a lot of boomers are running into these days is maybe they sold their house because they wanted to capture the appreciation because the housing prices went through the roof, right? But lump sums, you can't really borrow against lump sums. You can borrow against income. So if you own part of a building, then you can borrow against that income, and you're actually making money from it. So it's really huge to make money work for you. And real estate's not for everybody, but you have to be investing in whatever it is that's going to generate you more money. Inflation means that you're losing value every single day. So
Yep.
that's my little soapbox bit there. My next question, though, is how people can help you. And I like to imagine that the people in the audience, they're Santa Claus, or they're the genie coming out of the lamp, whatever you want, and they can help you out. And so how can people help you? It can be private, personal, whatever you want.
Yeah, I'd say two ways. Like the first in terms of business is basically sending anybody, especially if they're on LinkedIn, my content if they're looking to get into podcasting,
Mhm.
because I focus a lot on the mindset of podcasting, the listener's experience, and really the things that mostly things that nobody talks about but are like really important. At least I think personally. And then on top of that, like I said, I have an in-person interview show in New Jersey. So if you know anybody local to New Jersey, New York, PA, who has a great story to tell. They don't. It's not like they have to necessarily like. They're not going to do like a presentation or a TED talk on the podcast, but cool life experiences. Like it's a conversational sit down show, like Joe Rogan style. So always looking for guests, but they do have to be local. I don't do them virtual.
Excellent. Yeah, well, I'll drop you a couple names in New Jersey after this.
Oh, great.
But the next question then is the important one, which is how do they reach out to help you in those ways?
Yeah, so, I think email's probably I give email because it's the most effective way to reach me, and
Hmm.
maybe there's some more questions I need to answer around that as to why that is, but my LinkedIn is way unmanageable. So Ryan at podcastprinciples.com. If you're watching on YouTube right now, it's Podcast Principles. It's in my backdrop. So you can email me there. That's the soonest. I'll probably get back to you the next day or end of the week type of thing. And then other than that, just all my socials. So Sully Bop. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, it's behind you. SULLYBOP. You can Google that website, Spotify, music videos on YouTube, whatever, everything. And then yeah, I post on LinkedIn daily or weekly. So that's really where like most of my content's going.
All right, awesome. And its principle is like an idea, not pal, like the principal of a school. So
Yep, idea, man. That's it. The principles of podcasting are really what we're trying to do. So
beautiful, beautiful. So that is who Ryan helps. That's how who he wishes he could help more. It's also how you can help him and how you can reach out. I only have one other question for you, Ryan, which is, did you know that if the people in the camera there hit that hideous red subscribe button under there, then that helps me? Ding.
I've thought about that before, that concept of hitting the subscribe button. And you know what, the one thing, Dan, that's really interesting about this, it actually doesn't cost any money. And you know what? Hey, guess what? If you subscribe today and unsubscribe tomorrow, I'm not gonna know. We're not gonna know. But if you want to just give us a little support, make a separate YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel. I don't even care. Even if
Mm.
you don't want to watch the videos, that's another way that you can help, and we won't even know. So I'm
I
with you,
love
bro.
that. I love that. That's absolutely true. We only know that we lost a subscriber. We don't know who that subscriber was that we
Exactly.
lost.
I'm
So
giving them a cheat code to help
right, right,
in the
and all
most minimalist way possible. So
right, right, and all it really does is it means that these videos might show up on your list of suggestions, and you can go ahead and ignore those suggestions. I just
it's true.
appreciate the fact that you spent this time with me, just like Ryan. I appreciate you joining me today. This has been great getting to know you better.
Thanks for doing this, Dan. Heal up, brother. Thanks for doing this even though you're a little run down, man, I know how it is. And that's a testament to your dedication for this, man. So keep podcasting, keep doing your thing. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.